Today we're talking to Anton Vincent, President of General Mills Baking Division. So Anton, tell us a little bit about your role at General Mills and how long ago you started here.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I've been here a little over 18 years, and currently, as you said, I'm the president of the baking division. I'm also the fourth president of the baking division, so I sort of wear that crown proudly. In a lot of ways, the baking division is the very beginning of General Mills, and so I sort of come to work with that kind of attitude every day and sort of lifting up the tradition of what we now know as General Mills.
Great, and Betty Crocker actually is 90 years old. How do you keep this iconic brand relevant for today's consumers?
Well, you know, it's interesting. With Betty turning 90, we are always sort of asking ourselves, how can we sort of keep this brand relevant? But in many ways, Betty is more relevant today than she was, many, many years ago. She started off as being a brand advocate, an advocate for homemakers, and really someone who gave advice on how to make the home better. And what the modern day version of that is today, we've been working on that pretty significantly. First, by making her more of a digital brand. She's one of the largest food-based websites out there, and also making sure she still maintains that advocacy in that relationship with her primary target, which is primarily women with kids.
Great, and Betty Crocker offers several gluten-free products. Tell us about why it's important, why you felt that it was important to offer gluten-free products to consumers.
When we first started looking at the gluten-free opportunity, it was not a new exercise. I think several other groups in the building have been looking at it. But the team at that time, which was Jody Benson and Dina Larson, really brought the opportunity to the table in a pretty persuasive way. Most folks didn't know that, at least in the desserts area, there was no nationally branded gluten-free manufacturer. And so we thought that we had insight in terms of how to do it better than what those choices were out there. And from a pricing perspective, actually do it in a way that was less expensive, i.e. not being priced at the highest end of the category, which for us is pretty unusual. And so it's been a wonderful exercise. It's shown us some insight in terms of how to market small niche opportunities and really how to find a small sort of rabid consumer base and really market them in a very efficient and a very evolved way.
Anton, what are you most excited about coming out of the baking division right now?
Well, I'm excited about several things coming out of the baking division. We've been spending the last year or so really trying to sort of optimize our business model and making sure we have something that's sustainable and that can grow at a certain rate moving forward. Because some of it is some engineering that we've been doing primarily around our cake and frosting businesses. But on the growth perspective, our cookie business and our biscuit businesses are up pretty significantly this year. It's being driven by good old-fashioned brand building, great advertising, and really having products that have a pretty specific proposition and being able to communicate that in a pretty powerful way. And we're seeing that in the marketplace as we sort of look. And so I think the combination of those two things, with I would say a very exciting new product pipeline that we worked diligently on the last couple of years, I think there's a lot of growth in our businesses to come. And I think we're going to be leading that growth in the category.
February is Black History Month. You were one of the people that helped form General Mills African American Employee Network called the Black Champions Network. It's grown tremendously over the past decade. Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like forming the network and its growth.
Well, when I first came into the company, there'd always been, I would say, a core group of African Americans who had talked about the idea of forming an affinity group, what we now know as the BCN. So I can't say the effort sort of started with us, but I will say around that time we also were fortunate to have a pretty significant diversity director at the time. Her name was Leslie Mays, who really got all of us rallied in terms of the employees, but also senior management, saying, hey, if we want to continue to be a top tier company across a variety of areas, our people development being one of them, then this is something we think that needs to be a mandate. So I'd say it first started from the top. And making sure that they understood what the mission was, they were in alignment with us. It really gave us rein and resources to go and make it happen and have continued to support it over time. So I'm very proud of the fact that we were committed, that we did it right, we did it in a way that General Mills would do it, and we did it in a way that elevates all of General Mills, not just the African American population. And I think that's one of the reasons why it continues to go on today. You know, as I look back and continue to look forward, we have been the foundation for other affinity groups to come in. And so I see that we have had not only impact for our community, but also General Mills, and then moving forward as we continue to globalize, we think it sort of sets the plate for how we think about maximizing everybody's opportunities and potential here at General Mills.
Great, well thank you for chatting with us today, Anton.
Thank you.